Hey y'all, welcome to Tea Priestess. I hope y'all are doing lovely and feeling amazing.
Power off.
So this is going to be an aquipoo reading, okay? So Aquarius, and I have not went off of my dome. I've been watching a lot of readings of mine over the past few days, and there was a lot of readings. Like there's one channel that I have, but that was just straight up intuitive readings. Like that's what the channel is for. I started posting like a little while after some like card readings on there, but it is just an intuitive reading. Like I used to literally just do, like I used to do intuitive readings for all 12 signs, and then I would do card readings. I would go back and forth, but I would do every month like 24 readings, and 12 would be on that one channel, and then 12 would be on the other one, because that one was it's called Tea Priestess something, or Tea Priestess featuring God. I think it's that one, but it was called Tea Priestess Intuitive before. And then before that, I think Tea Priestess Intuitive. No, it had a whole different name. But yes. And then once God gave me Tea Priestess, that's when I changed it to Tea Priestess Intuitive, and then Tea Priestess. And then now it's Tea Priestess for cards and Tea Priestess featuring God for intuitive. I don't know. If you want to go find the channels, then they are under my channels on YouTube. But yeah, so listen, aquipoo. Okay, so let's just see. I don't know, but my intuitive readings really be on point, because like I said, I've been watching them, and just straight off the dome, it's just wow. Like, how would I have known that? It's almost like God is real. Okay, so aquipoo, maybe you could be understanding some things where it's like God is real, okay? And so because you're understanding God is real, my eyes, before I went into something, I have books over here, and one of them is a biomechanics of injury book, but God only made me look at the mechanics part, okay? So mechanics are like the way that things work, the way that things operate, you know? And then figuring out how things work, breaking things apart, putting them back together, understanding what goes inside, how it works, all of that mechanics. So yes, you could be figuring out how a lot of things work, so right now this light over here, it's doing that, okay? And so mechanics, I don't know, that reminded me of just mechanics right now. Like figuring out how things work, figuring out how things turn around, how things go around, how the world goes around, but yes, maybe that big or maybe not. 333 though. I just saw it. So you're figuring out how things work, the mechanics. You could also be doing research, methods, and God is giving you the methods to do your research by giving you ideas like the lights, like the book, to do your research, to understand the mechanics of how things are working. Okay, and so the things that you could be finding out or researching to understand could be some deep spiritual shit, which is why I'm doing an intuitive reading. Yes, because I really have not done these in a very long time. Like, it's been well over a year since yes. And the intention was an intuitive reading. I have kind of done it, but I have not, where this was the intention. So, yeah, because I just wasn't going to do them anymore. I had to get back here, just like last year I started freestyling and I lost my skills, and I had to work over the last year to get them back, but get past where I was so that way I can go forward. Yeah, it's something like that, similar to that with the intuitive readings, where not that I lost my skills, I just did not choose to do them anymore because I've been trying to understand that part, I guess the mechanics behind why why and how I can do this. And like I said, that's why I said all that at the beginning. I can watch them back and they be accurate, at least in my life. I mean, like, accurate for me, which a lot of these readings were 1-2 years ago, maybe up to 3 years ago, if it goes back to 2021. So it's like, what? I don't know. So, you know, that's just what I'm trying to figure out. But I can also look back to, I don't know, certain things in life, like, not necessarily, but I've been thinking about this 8-ball, like it's an 8-ball or magic 8-ball. And I used to have one when I was younger, and I would have so much fun with that shit. And I would just ask it questions all the time, and it would tell me, and I'd be like, okay. I would get so excited with that. But then that's like something physical. Then there's also some things where I would know that people would be about to call me, like the exact person. And this still can kind of happen. But I would know that the person was about to call me. And they would call me. That the first time that I really understood and I actively was aware of that was like, oh my God, excuse me. It was high school. Maybe like 10th-ish grade, maybe 10th, 11th, no, like 11th grade. 11th grade, maybe 12th grade, but something like that. And somebody called me, but I knew that he was about to call before he called. And I was like, and we had known each other for a very long time. We had been friends since like middle school. So maybe there was like something where I just knew that he would call, but it's like I knew, like, it was one point where I was standing in my room, like me and my sister shared a room. So I was standing like in the doorway. I still remember this. Like I was standing in the doorway and I was like, my friend about to call me. And then my phone rang. And I was like, oh, hold up. I was like, hold up. But I didn't say anything, but I just always kept that as a mental note. And so now that mental note is now coming up in real life. And that was 09. Yeah, like 8 to 10, but like really 8 to 9. But it could have been like between 08 and 2010. But like maybe like 09. 09 seems right. So it's like, it was like 09. And because, yeah, we started talking about school in the future or something. School in the future. And I'm literally talking about research and methods. Okay. So yeah. So that was something. And so I can understand, I guess, why things be on point. But also at the beginning, that's why God made sure to bring it through. You know, God is real. And so the mechanics of understanding God is real, yes. Okay, lately I've also been understanding that God makes sure that, like the story that I just said, God gives you, I want to say Easter eggs, but like God takes care of things before you need them, okay? Before you need to understand something and everything comes together like full circle and you fully understand and you can see it yourself, God has already told you the shit, shown you the shit, given you every single thing that leads you to the point where, bam, your mind is mind blown. And you like, okay, I got you, God. Yeah. And so, yeah, like that literally happened today. I mean, it's been happening. Like, I've been actively aware of this, where God has literally told me shit, whether it could be throughout the years or just like yesterday or some shit. But then like today, something adds up and I'm like, we was just talking about that yesterday. And then I'd be like, wow, God. Like, wow, God, like you really be covering your tracks, because it's like God know when I'ma understand, you know, like when my mind is going to be on the I understand and I can see what you did there, and I can go back and go steps back and be like, wow, God, you really made sure that I was good. You made sure I knew what was up on every single level. Okay. 11:11. I saw that earlier today, and that at that time it was something like what I'm talking about. I cannot remember exactly, but it was something that I think I was watching a reading of mine or something, and everything made sense. I was watching something. I think I was watching a reading, and everything made sense at 11:11, and I was like, yep. Thank you, God. Because you did it. You did it. Okay, there was some readings years ago where that I've watched, but back then I really was on messaging like, you're gonna understand that God did it. Like God did it. Like God did what God said God would do. That was the exact message. God did what God said God would do. Okay, that was the messaging. And so I think that's where we're going now. Okay, I don't have anything from past to lead up to now. I feel like we're in the present now. Okay, that's where I feel now. Okay, so now we're in the present. And so in the present, okay, aquipoo. So now God is focusing. You're the star. Oh my God. You're the star, literally. And this was just sitting right here, okay? I'm just saying, come on now. I got this shit. Thank you, good, okay? Because I have been feeling ways or scared-ish to do intuitive readings over the last year. And that's why I have not done them. And God has understood that. And God has just allowed me to do whatever I have wanted. I really just sat down myself. God didn't tell me to do this. But I really just sat down and said, I'm going to just do a reading. Because I was sitting here watching a new show. It's not new, but a new show for me on Netflix called Bodies. And it talks about past, present, and future. Or something like that. It's like past, I guess they're in the present. But then they also go to the future. And it's like a whole thing between the whatever that I'm trying to understand now. And I just really want to go to the end. But I'm being patient, okay? I'm being patient and watching it. It's not slow, but it's like, it reminds me of some shit. And so I feel like I might be able to understand how the end would go, kind of. Not really. It's very outlandish, and like psychologically fucking you up. It can, because of what it is. But I also feel like, based on like Kang in Marvel, which was God. Like, to me, he was God, okay? And that was so cool because he a black man, okay? But I feel like he was God. He is God in the Marvel universe because of all of his abilities. He can go backwards, forward, present, all that. He is God. He created the whatever the fuck. He did that. And then Loki is like Satan. Real shit. Okay? That's how I'm looking at it right now. Kang is God. Loki is Satan. Yes. And so I don't know why I need to talk about that real quick. But that's what I'm saying. Like, in the show, it just reminds me of some shit that I've seen already. And so I feel like by the end, I'm going to be able to understand, because I can understand who the Satanist nigga is, because he was in the past. He's in the past. Like, way past. And it's like, nigga, how you way in the future? Also. Because he the one that did it. Like, I already know. I already know. And I'm like, it's like 4 episodes in, and I already can see Aquarius. That's why we talking about the future. You are the future. Like, literally. Like, you are the future sign. Like, you think about the future. You do the future shit. You are the future. You are the future. You are the future. It just came. Got it. Thank you. Okay, so yeah. If you want to watch Bodies, watch it. But like I just said, I feel like I kind of understand what's going to happen at the end, because it's only like 1 season or whatever. So I feel like I already know what the fuck is up. Okay, got you. So listen, there is something happening right now in your present. And the person that is in the future and the past is not in the present in the show Bodies. Or at least I can't remember seeing him within the present of like 2023, 2024. I think it's like 2023, that's the present. That I don't remember seeing that man in the present, okay? But he is in the way future, like 2050 something, and then in the way past in like 18 something. But also not in another timeline, which is like 1941 or some shit. He's not there either. So he's missing in the middle, okay? He's missing in the middle, but he's at the end and he's in the beginning. Okay, there's something I'm studying for a certification right now, and this is making me think about this funnel thing. So at the top is awareness. At the bottom is loyalty, okay? In the middle, there's 2 different things, but on top of that, it could be tofu, bofo, and in the middle, mofu, yes, tofu, bottom mofu, middle mofu. Okay, so he's at the top, tofu, and then at the bottom, and I cannot remember, I have to study, I cannot remember what the tofu and the mofu, but it's dealing with like digital marketing, okay? So if you know, you know. But top is tofu, bottom is bofu, and the middle is mofu. He is missing from the mofu, okay? So he has awareness, and then he has loyalty at the end. And this literally goes from what I have seen so far in the show, okay? At the like when he's in the past, he is aware of what is going on in every single way. He also has a grandmother that talks to dead people and calls in spirits and all this stuff, and he drugged this man. I'm giving this show away, but I need to talk about it. I watched it for a reason, obviously, for this reading. He left this man in the room to do a seance or whatever, and so they did a seance, but they also drugged the man at the same time. And so because they needed him for something, because he aware, yes, because the seance, or he's like a rich man or whatever. So the rich man, in both aspects, in the awareness level and then also in the loyalty level, the bofu. And the tofu at the beginning, or in the way past, but on the awareness side, he understood that the man that he drugged or whatever and brought him to a seance is a cop. And so he found a body that is a body. Oh my God, excuse me. That is a body that has been found in every single timeline or whatever. That's what the whole episode or whole show is about. This body, this one body that keeps popping up in every single fucking timeline. And it's like, how the fuck? So this man is very aware of this body, understands where it came from or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But understands, okay? That's why it reminds me of Kang from Marvel. But he understands the body, understands, does a whole bunch of stuff to make it seem like he doesn't want anybody else to understand. That's why he drugs the cop, because the cop understands and all this stuff. And so he got dirt on the cop and did a whole bunch of shit, whatever. But all that. And so that's tofu. That's the awareness. Then now I'm on the loyalty. Like they've went into the loyalty part, or the very future. And so in the very future, he is like the commander. So in both aspects, awareness and loyalty, he is a very big person. Still the same, okay? And so I just saw 2, 3, 4. And so in his understanding on that level, he has power on either level, either way in the past or way in the future. He has power. And before I went into, I guess, seeing the star, God pointed out the star, and I went into the future thing, I was going to say something about you could know or see or understand something about somebody in a very powerful position. This could be you, but there could be somebody in a very powerful position, okay? And so in their very powerful position, or so, it could look like that from the outside. It could be that, but it could look like that for real from the outside, where they are in a very powerful position. I also want to say it could be something like The Wiz. Okay, so, so in the very powerful position that this person is in, who I don't know who they could be, so I'm not putting like a gender on them or pronouns or whatever. So the powerful position person can be somebody that either you know personally or you know in some ways, like in real life. Like it's not like a parasocial relationship. Like you have met them, you have been around them in whatever ways. Y'all have had interactions. Yeah, y'all have had interactions. Y'all have understood each other in whatever ways. Like they understand you, you understand them. Them in this powerful position understand you, and you from your position understand them. Okay. And so I feel like God is about to reveal some shit, okay? So listen, whoever this person is in this very powerful position, they are getting found out. A reading, and it's like 3 minutes that I did earlier on my bed, because I just had the cards out and then I just pulled from the middle and then I spread them out, and it was like the light page of page of swords, and that one is like a light shining. Like, let me see if it'll stretch, but it literally looked like this. I can't do it, but put it over my head. No, I can't do it. But it's literally like that, except she like holding the light and it's shining, but it's like shining above her, and so she is shining the light on some shit. And that was the last card, okay? And then there's also death in the middle after, I think it's 6 of Wands, leading to death, but also Hierophant. It was like the Hierophant, which is on God to me, like God. And then the High Priestess was somewhere over there also. And then some other card. But yeah, those are the significant cards that I can remember. And then 6 of Swords, which is a U card, an Aquarius card. Okay. And so, yes, they know that you know. Whatever the fuck that could come out in this reading, or that you know in real life. It could be something that, you know, I don't need to reveal and I don't need to talk about. but you know what's up, okay? you know what's up, okay? That's why I had to talk about the body show and the cop and the big person, the man who's in the past and the future at the same time, or whatever the fuck is going on. And it's like the cop that he drugged or whatever. I'm not saying this could be you. Like, you could be the cop, and you could be like the person that you know the information, you know about the body, you know about whatever the fuck. But that's also what I'm saying. I don't know what type of details that mean, okay? I don't fucking know. Listen, I'm talking about a show, okay? Bodies on Netflix, okay? I have no idea in real life. Literally, I have no fucking idea. But listen, whatever the fuck that means, I think, we being on the low, okay? We ain't got to talk about too many details, but your mind is going as you watching, and that's all I'm saying, okay? So we right here with it. Okay, so. So, you could be like him, and he no information, but the man who's aware and also loyal at the end, because also that's why I'm like, the loyalty part is important also at the end of the funnel, because where I just was watching before I started reading, like this reading, he had just told the woman who found the body in the future that the body is this scientist, and he died in like 2 days from then in the more future. And she was like, what? But she had just called him commander. That's why I know he a commander and all that stuff. And so he knows all of that. And he said the body has been found. It's from the past. He said it's from the past. Like, this body has been found multiple times or whatever. And so this is from the past. And something about like he didn't know or he doesn't know. But people, like, it's like if somebody finds out, then it can mess up their whole future life, the whole future world that is the future world. And so that's his loyalty, okay? Okay, come on now. So he was aware, and then it's like he traveled through the fucking future. No. He was aware and he traveled. I feel like this is going towards Satan, and that's why I talked about Loki, but hold on. So, because, past and the future and the present, that gives Satan to me right now. Hold on. Okay. Because I can't skip whatever the fuck I was about to say, because it leads to whatever. But I talked about the show. Like, I feel like I already know the end. And so I feel like I already know whatever is up in the middle or whatever the fuck. I feel like I know what's in the middle, and I know what's in the end. And I've been saying this throughout the reading. Okay, come on now. I'm back. Okay? Okay, so, like, what did I need to be scared for? I don't know. Because of the nigga that I just pointed out. Okay, listen. Because, yeah. So, listen. Like, I'm so serious. Being a very spiritual person, because that's why I needed to talk about, like, my upbringing or whatever, just little spiritual things or that I didn't know about. But, the things where it's like, that's unexplainable. And it's like, okay. Like, went from physical. And I said that, like, I've been using cards over the last year because I've been scared to do intuitive readings. Like, just straight up intuitive readings. Because of this nigga Satan. Because of this nigga Satan on some very real shit, okay? Because I just don't have time. And so I needed to be able to see and see and see and see. And that's why I have done it like that. I need to be able to see. So it's like proof. But now it's like I'm back, and it's literally going exactly how it used to be. Where God can give me a message through any fucking thing. Literally. I can read anything. I can read anything. And that's something I've always understood since I've started readings, that I can literally read any fucking thing. I've already pointed out a few things in this reading where I'm literally reading it and getting a message from it. And it's not cards, but it's, Okay, so now I don't forget, but I had to say that. But going back to the awareness level for the man in the Bodies show, he wanted to get rid of like evidence, it seemed, in the past. And that's why he messed up the man's life. Okay? I said I was getting somewhere with like Satan. Now, it literally could be like, I also can look at my readings and understand if I'm talking about God and Satan, even if it sounds like I'm talking about people. Real shit, especially for me. Because of whatever the fuck I'm talking about, where whatever type of spiritual level that I'm on, I don't fucking know, but this shit is high as fuck. I'm just saying, I have talked about this kind of low-key in intuitive readings before on the channel that I'm talking about. I have talked about this, and God has told me through me, okay, that I am on some spiritual fucking level that I don't even fucking know, but it's somewhere up there to where Satan fucking tries me, and God has a very close connection with me. Not just because of Satan, but because we cool as fuck. But on a level where God literally talks to me. Like we text, we talk, we FaceTime, we be meeting up, we chill, we have fun. Okay? It's like that. Like we are cool as fuck. And so God is talking to me all day, all night, every day, all time. I mean, we have our breaks, but it's like we still right here with it. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know how to explain that, but listen. The awareness man, the awareness person, the awareness level that is in the past, okay, with this powerful person, power on. I'm not turning on music. I don't feel like I need it. I feel like it's gonna distract me even more. But they understood some shit in the past, okay, about you, okay, and that's why it could be. I'm not just talking about Satan. I'm talking about a human being. I'm gonna keep it to a human being, but I'm also saying I could be talking about Satan at the same time. And in readings, whether I'm talking about people, I literally could be talking about Satan. Lately, within readings over the past like month, almost 2 months, God has been revving up Satan, like not like that, but where we have talked about Satan in ways where I have been like, I have not talked about this man or person or entity, whatever the fuck. I have not talked about that in readings. Real shit. Because I don't fucking know. Have, but not. And did not call him Satan. Like said devil or some shit, but not like that. So over the last month and a half, 2, God has really, started to be like, okay, we have to talk about this nigga. Okay? And so we have. And so just talking about a person, not talking about, just so you know, I need to say all that, just so you know, on my level, or if that's your level also, then I could literally be talking about Satan for you, for us. And it's not a person, but this can also be a person that Satan has used who is in a high position. But ultimately, it is Satan. Okay, so this nigga person who is in the big position or whatever, the big influence or whatever. But I really want to say the Wiz. Okay, I don't know why that keeps coming in, but I think that's why I understand the future. And in the middle, they're not there because they're hiding. They're hiding in the middle. The man was hiding somewhere in the middle, and that's why he's in the show. He's not in the two different timelines that are more new, especially the present, and only shows up again in the future as a commander, because he's like hiding, because he must already be in the fucking future or some shit, trying to fucking change the shit and trying to figure some shit out so that way the past never happens. Just like in the awareness phase for this man, he is like trying to hide shit, fuck the man up, fuck up the cop who understands the body and all this shit, and try to fuck him up, or did fuck him up, and made other people, because he took pictures, made him, like, drugged him, make him took pictures, like, he don't know, but he took pictures. I don't think he knows yet where I'm watching. He doesn't know yet. And so took pictures, but like, apparently whoever the pictures went out to, the whole town know. And so they looking at him weird, but they're not saying nothing. Okay? So it could be some shit like that, where for you, okay, whoever the fuck this person is, they could have done some shit where they made you look wild out here. They made you look crazy. They made you look wild. They did some shit. And they did some shit to you because you know information, because you know something. And they did some shit to you. And then they try to cover it up or some shit by making you look even more crazy. Because they're trying to cover shit up. And then maybe they went away and have been away for like, a few years or some shit. And, there's nothing. Like, there's nothing in the middle. But they've already done that. Like, they've already made you look wild. They did whatever the fuck to cover up their tracks, okay? Like, that's why I talked about at the beginning, God be making sure that you know what's said, leading to whenever you really need to know what's said. You gonna know every single step, leading up, like, you in every step. You are in every timeline, okay? Whatever this is, you are always there. God is always giving you everything. You can do the research to find yourself or to find understanding in every single timeline before you reach the future. You can go past, you can go way past, you can move up and come up a few years. You can be in the present and understand, and you can look into the future. Come on now. And so because you can look into the fucking future, you can understand what the fuck is up, because God has already given you the knowledge, the mechanics of whatever the fuck you need to know. Okay. You have the methods down. Your methods. Methods, yes. No cards. Methods, no cards. I'm just going off my dome. And God is highlighting things if need be. But I'm just going off of my head. Whatever the fuck that means, I have no idea what that means, but I'm going off of my head, okay? But I'm not. Like, I don't know what that means. That's what I don't know. I don't know. But listen, whoever the fuck this is, they know. They know whatever the fuck this is. Okay? On a very spiritual level that I'm talking about right now. They understand, like, how I can get messages and they're very accurate. They're accurate as fuck for me in my life. And I've been through some shit relating to from 2021 up until now on a totally different level. Like life fully changed. Like, life fully did a 180. Literally. And I've had to do a 360. A 360 to get myself back. Okay? Real shit. Maybe not a... oh my God. Maybe not a fucking 360. I'm playing on Twitter. I mean, off of Twitter. Because people be the 180 and the 360 and be not knowing what a 180 and a 360 is. So I'm just saying. But it literally could have been like something. It feels like that. I did a 180. Like, they did a 180 on my life. Or whatever the fuck. A 180 was happening. And then I had to be like, okay. Yeah, make it a full 360 to get back to me. Yeah. Not a 180. Sure, a 180, but I've had to do like a 360. a full fucking turn, like full fucking turn, in order to fully get back, because I lost things. I lost, and then I had to gain again to go even harder. So it's like two 180s at the same time. And that's what I've had to do to get to where I am now. And that's like a 360. So yeah, there was one reading that I played on when it first popped up, and this girl said, it was around the time of like the Travis Astroworld thing. And she was maybe like before, but she was talking about, I think I just figured some shit out. I don't know. But she was talking about how she did a 360. Or 180. No, she did a 360 or some shit. I don't fucking know. She was talking about numbers. And so whatever number she said, everybody was like, no, ma'am, that is not correct. You did a 180. And she kept talking about how she did a 360. And to her, she was correct. She was correct, okay? She did not go back on that 360. She was holding on the 360, okay? She knew what the fuck was up. And even now, whatever she was talking about then, people are still now. I just saw a tweet like today or yesterday where they was talking about people got 180 and 360 in a chokehold. People are still talking about that. And she brought that shit up in the past. And now we in the present. And it's still coming up. It's still coming up, okay? Whatever the fuck that you know, you said something about that shit in the past. It literally could have been like 2021, 2020, 2021. And people understand that you know what's up. And so because you know what's up, that's whatever the fuck happened. And that's what I'm gonna say, okay? And so that was the fuck up. But it's not a fuck up on your end. Just know that's whatever the fuck happened, okay? And so that, because they knew that you knew, and they knew what the fuck was up on their end, they knew that you knew what was up. And so they set up some shit so that way come on, good, okay? They set up some shit so that way they could know what you know, but then also set you up past that to cover their tracks. Because they already knew that they knew what was up, that you knew what was up because of whatever the fuck you knew. And this could be on a spiritual level. Because in the show, the cop himself was not a spiritual person. Like, he was not at all. He didn't believe. But he was talking, like, the man set up him with the grandma to be in a seance. And the man was not there, but he left the cop with him after he had already gave him the drink that was drugged, okay? And so he already knew that whatever the fuck would happen or some shit. And so he was talking to, like, the grandma brought in the dead man, who was the dead man, the body that kept popping up in all these timelines or whatever. And so he knew, like, the name. He was getting a name. Like, they was talking to the spirit or whatever. Like, he was actually talking to the spirit. And so because he was talking to the spirit, and so because he was talking to the spirit, they knew. He knew. Okay, the grandma, it was like this other woman and then a preacher. They all were in loyalty with the man who's the big man, okay? And so whoever the fuck in real life that you were around people where they had loyalty to this big person. And so in the loyalty that they had to this big person, you said some things, you did some things, you showed them some things to where they could relay that information or some shit to this big person. And so it gave this big person knowledge. But they were in on it too, in on whatever the fuck. They understood who you were. It's like everybody understood who you were before you got there. Okay? Before you entered into whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I said this. I don't fucking know. Okay? Listen. But whatever the fuck, they already knew. They already knew something. They knew something. Okay? Even if they didn't know everything. They knew something. But it's like outside of your presence, whatever you know, just in you being there, there were other people that could account for whatever you said or did or whatever. And maybe this big person, like how in the show, the man left the cop to be in the seance with the 3 people. It could have been something like that, where the big person was not around. But it was kind of like on purpose, so that way they could get information. Okay. And so, since then, that was a whole thing. Whenever that was for you. Okay? Then, going to the middle. You don't know nothing. You don't see nothing. It's not like a big thing. It's not like it's not them talking to you, like maybe like communication ceased, maybe like a whole bunch of things ceased because they had their information, they got their information, they understood whatever whatever they needed to know and whatever they wanted to gather from your presence, they had gathered, they had collected. Okay, whatever the fuck, okay. And so now we're in the present. And the present, like in the show, it's different from the past. It feels more, looks more dangerous-ish. Kind of. It looks a little bit, no, because they were all dangerous, each timeline or whatever. Like they're all very similar also at the same time. Okay. So there could be a thing where there's some person and they could do the same thing. Like whoever the fuck you are out here, they have done whatever the fuck they have done to other people. And so they have been trying to figure out or have learned some things about you, done some things or whatever to figure out who you are. And to do the same thing to you in the present. But have done things or similar or whatever the fuck, some things in the past, okay? To you or to other people similar to you, something like that, to where you can research, okay? And so mechanics come in, understanding the mechanics of them and how they operate. That's what this is about, something like that, okay? And so whoever the fuck this is, that's why it can resemble Satan, because Satan has been around for a long time, just like God, but God has been around for a long time, you know, Satan, whatever, but on earth has been around for a very long time, okay? So it's been through a whole bunch of things, has fucked up people in different ways, you know, each and every time. It's similar, but it's not, but similar-ish. The similar is I'm gonna fuck you up, okay? So I don't know, but in the similar person or similar people, maybe you could do like similar things. You do similar things to them. You resemble them. You have very similar things to them, whoever they have done this to in the past, okay? And so that's why it's like in the present or in the middle, they've been kind of quiet because they've been like trying to figure out, one, like who they would do it to again, and once they found that out, when they would do it. Because of their past methods, they know, just like Satan, they can't operate like they did before. They know that they would have to come a different way this time for whatever, whoever the next person was, whoever the next whatever it was, okay? And so, going to the future, it's like, okay, in the future, they're the same person who was in the past. They're just trying to stop whatever happened in the past from happening in the future to mess up things on a very larger scale. Okay, so whoever this is, I really have no idea. My mind is running with a whole bunch of things that I'm not going to say. But listen, because these is real people, real people. And I know that God is real, but I've also been saying in this reading, whatever. I'm not. Listen. Whoever this person is, it's like, in the future, from what I can understand from the show so far, just like with Kang, they wanted him to go to the past so that way he could create what he needed to create, but like in a different way or something like that. I can't remember. I need to go watch that again. I need to watch Loki again so I can understand, because that'll open my mind up to some shit. But yeah, it's something like that. Like in the past, okay, from the future, this person is like in the present, currently in the present, thinking about the future heavily, but also thinking about the past very heavily, okay? And so in the present, they are quiet, they're chill, they are not moving, they're just watching, they're researching, they're, looking, they're understanding. You don't see them, you don't understand them, you wouldn't know where to look for them, you wouldn't, it's none of that. But they're plotting on the future by trying to avoid what they have done in the past. They're plotting on the future by trying to avoid what they have done in the past, because they understand from the future, and right now it could be the future. I don't fucking know. In the present, I don't fucking know. But listen, from the future, they are looking at their life, they're looking at everything, and they're like, okay, I have to stop them, or I have to do what I need to do, but I have to do it in a different way, because I can't do it like how I did it in the past, because this is a new day from the present. And so I think you got them like stuck. I don't know. That's where I feel right now. I feel like you have them stuck, whoever this is. You have them stuck because they can't move forward. They can't move forward, and they can't look back. I mean, they can look back, but they can't do what they have done in the past to anybody or whatever the fuck. They can't do that, because whatever now is, it's totally different on many levels. Like in the present, on the Body show, this little boy or whatever who's in that timeline but related to the body or whatever, there's cameras, and the little boy kept looking at the camera, because he like whoever the fuck is watching or something. Like he understood that, and so he kept looking at the camera, like focusing on the camera. So whoever the fuck this is, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Look, I said that, okay? I'm just saying, they understand some shit. And they understand that this is a new day. They understand that proof is literally everywhere. Especially now. In multiple ways. Like, there is proof everywhere. And so because of that, they're trying to figure out in the present how to do what they want to do, but also not. But also be loyal. Okay. Because I'm only in like the fourth episode or some shit. But the way that the commander, who is also the head, whatever he was, like a lord or some shit, I don't fucking know. They're in the UK or some shit, so I don't fucking know. But whatever the fuck he is. He, in the future, as the commander, he seems like he is regretful in some ways, sorrowful in some ways. Like he really doesn't want whatever could happen to happen. And it get worse, it get bad. And so that's why whatever the fuck, I'm gonna finish watching it. But whatever the fuck is gonna take place in the future, where the scientist who is the body from every other timeline, he's alive in the future, but then his body was also there in the future also at the same time. That's why that shit is like, what? I don't know. I don't even know. But whatever that means, it's like the scientists could see him dead and he was alive, and he knows that it's him, but he don't know how he died. And this is where it comes in on a spiritual level with the future for you, aquipoo, okay? So, God could be giving you insight into the future on a spiritual level, so that way you understand what the fuck is gonna happen on a spiritual level, not a physical. On a physical, yes, giving you the steps physically, but also on a spiritual level, giving you the steps on a spiritual level. And that's what this person, whoever the fuck, understands, that you get steps on a spiritual fucking level. And so they're trying to figure out your mechanics, the way that you work, doing research on you, something like that. Will do something. And so they've been trying to figure out how the fuck you know what the fuck you know. And so your spiritual gifts are very high. Yep, my reading, spiritual gifts. There's a spiritual gifts reading, just one, on YouTube, yes. But it's on two of my T Priestess channels. But for sure, I'll take custom at that, okay? But whatever the fuck, they are trying to... Because you be on point and you know what the fuck you know on a spiritual level, but you also do in real life physically what you do. They have been like, okay, they have to be stopped. We cannot have them out here because they know too much, even though you don't, but you do. But in the future, on the loyalty level, they are trying to not do what they have done, to undo or to hide, and to, in a way, protect. And so the protection is something that you might start to see. And I needed to say that. That is the reading. Yep. Got some insight. Thank you, God. I love y'all. I appreciate you. I thank you for coming through. Okay. I be on point. Okay. I just know it. I'm so serious. Because God be pointing shit out right in front of my fucking face. And it's like, yo, I don't need to watch this to understand that I'm on point. I just know. I love y'all. Bye.